Hello everyone, so it's Saturday the 3rd of July, it's around 1 p.m. and I thought it was a good time to start my vlog for Invisible Cities for this month. So the three countries for this month are Ethiopia, Israel and Panama. I think everyone had a little bit of trouble finding something for Panama, but I managed, so I'm going to share what I'm going to be reading for each country. The first thing for Ethiopia, I'm going to be reading Heretic by Ayaan, Hirschi. And this is from a woman, that flew out from Ethiopia into the Netherlands because she was politically harassed, I think. And this particular book is about her ideas on Muslim faith and how it needs to change. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I know that Ethiopia is a fairly diverse country in terms of religion, so that will be an interesting perspective, I think. And then the thing that I'm going to try to cook for Ethiopia is injera, which is this very fluffy fermented bread, and then you put like different types of vegetables and dals looking things and stuff on top, and then you just eat it with your hands. I have eaten that before several times, but I have never made it, so we will see how that goes. And then the other book that I'm going to read for Israel is All the Rivers by Dorit Rabinyan. I have actually started this. Yesterday I went to Amsterdam for work to the office, and it's the first time I go there for a year and a half. But finally I'm going back to the office every once in a while, and I started this in my commute. So this is sort of a love story between a woman from Israel and a man from Palestine that they meet in New York. So far it's very romantic-y, like it's not going into depth into all the issues. It's more of a forbidden love, and the forbiddenness happens to be her as a Jewish being with an Arab, but it doesn't go so much into depth into the stuff, so we will see how it goes. I was not very convinced, but it was the only thing that I could find in my library that was mildly interesting. So this is what I'm going to be reading for Israel. And I want to make savish, which is some kind of sandwich, I think. So yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. And then for Panama, which is the last country, it was quite tricky. There is not that much readily available from Panama if you don't want to spend a lot of money. But I found an ebook of El Caballo de Oro by Juan David Morgan. I think it's translated actually as the Golden Horse. And that is the one that I'm going to be reading. I believe it's about the time when the Panama Canal was built. He also had other books. There was one that I was quite interested in that was called something like The Revolution of the Poets, because apparently Panama has a lot of poets. I couldn't find easily any of the books of the poets to read, but apparently there are a lot of them. And then for food, there is something called chichema, that I don't remember what it was, and then there was a beetroot potato salad that looked very good, so I think I'm going to try some of those recipes. But yeah, that's the start of the vlog. That's what I'm planning to do. Let's see how it goes. Hello everyone, so it's Monday morning. I'm just about to start work, but before I do that, I thought I will update you. I didn't update you last night about what I'm currently reading. So I haven't read much more about this, I think 20 pages or so, and I have the same feeling so far. I think it's just a love story, and it doesn't have that much about Israel and Palestine, which is a pity, but I will finish it. It's quite fast, and the chapters are a couple of pages long, so it always goes a little bit faster when they do that. But yeah, actually yesterday was a busy day. I was cooking a lot for random reasons, not Invisible Cities related, and also we have been doing some renovation. My husband wants to build a music studio in our garden shed, so we have been taking everything from the garden shed out, and now the garden is a mess, the house is a mess, but the place is empty, and we have started putting the floor, leveling it up and making it nice, not just like these garden tiles. And yeah, after that we'll need to do the walls, insulate it really well, paint it, and put everything back in. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but he's very excited. So that's what we were doing yesterday. Maybe I'll show you the garden in a bit. It's a mess, but if you want to see it, yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Hello everyone, so it's Tuesday morning. I'm about to start work, but I thought I would update you on my reading because I have been reading All the Rivers by Dorit Rabinyan, and I'm on page 159, so I have a bit more than 100 pages left. My thoughts have not changed a lot. I still think it's just okay. It's getting very stereotypical, and there's discussions about Palestine and Israel, but they're not really that nuanced, I feel. So yeah, I'm not really into this, but I have 100 pages left, so I'm hoping I can finish it today. I don't have huge plans today other than watch the matches later. I think that's all I have to do, and maybe repot some plants and things like that. But it shouldn't take me very long, so I think I'm hoping I can finish this today. I have not been the most concentrated self, so I will see, but that's my hope. So yeah, that's my update. I also haven't cooked anything for Invisible Cities yet, but I was thinking maybe I'll go to get some ingredients either today or tomorrow and make the Israeli thing, which is kind of a pita sandwich, so it shouldn't be really hard to do. So yeah, I'll show you that when I do it, either today or tomorrow probably. Hello everyone, so it's Wednesday morning, I'm about to start work, but I thought I would update you first, because I finished All the Rivers by Dorit Rabinyan, and honestly I didn't like it. So this follows an Israeli woman that lives in New York, and then she meets this Palestinian guy and she falls in love with him, and they have this very nice relationship, but they always know that it's going to be temporary because of the situation that they are in. Like, she's there for a semester in university, and then in the summer she's going back to Israel. And we basically just follow the relationship and yeah, what happened with them. And what I didn't like about this, the story was very stereotypical. The end was very cliche, but also I really didn't like the main character. I didn't understand why this man would fall in love with her. She was horrible to him. She was horrible to a lot of people. Like, there was, for example, this incident that had nothing to do with him, but she had an Iranian friend, and the Iranian friend invited her to celebrate Nowruz, which is like the Iranian New Year, and it's a very big thing in Iran. All my Iranian friends here celebrate it too, and they're very excited about it every year. She kind of makes fun of her Iranian friend for still celebrating that pagan tradition, and she never acknowledges that was not okay, and there are a lot of little things like that she's so self-absorbed, and yeah, I just didn't like it. Also, it didn't give me any insights into the Israeli-Palestinian relationship or anything like that. It was just a way to build a forbidden love, but it was not really anything groundbreaking. So yeah, I was not super into this, but I finished it. I think I will end up cooking the Israeli food today. It's kind of it's called, yeah, it's like a breakfast sandwich, like a pita sandwich. I think I'm going to maybe have it for lunch. Hello everyone. So it's my lunch break on Thursday, and yesterday I made this sandwich thing that is I think it's called savish from Israel. It was really tasty. I don't think I had quite the right spices for it. I didn't find the right spices, but I kind of play with what I had to make it as similar as possible. And I don't know if it was exactly how it's supposed to be, but it was really tasty anyway, so I'm happy I did that. And I didn't read anything for Invisible Cities yesterday. There's a couple of books I need to finish to return to the library today, so I was finishing those off. And also I was watching the football because England played the semi-finals against Denmark. I was hoping that Denmark could make it, just because they are kind of the underdog, but they didn't. They lost on the extra time, which is better than I actually expected them to do, especially considering that they were playing in London. But yeah, so the final is going to be Italy-England, and I am also quite surprised that Spain played that well against Italy and they got all the way through penalties. So yeah, I mean, it was not the results I was hoping for, but I think they gave it their best, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice. We'll see how it goes with the final. I think everyone in Europe that is not English is supporting Italy. Just, I don't know. I guess England has a bit of a bad reputation in Europe, especially with Brexit now and everything. I mean, we saw that in the Eurovision, so I think that's how it's going right now. But yeah, it's going to be fun. The final is on Sunday, so that will be fun. But for today, what I want to start, I haven't started yet, is Heretic by Ayaan, Hirschi, which is my choice for Ethiopia. And maybe if I have time this weekend, I will try to cook injera. I'm not sure, because it's quite complicated, I think. And I have plans for Saturday, and I don't know if I will have time on Sunday. We will see. I will keep you updated. Also tomorrow I don't have too many plans. Today I have. I want to see a friend that I haven't seen in a while. We'll go for a walk. And then in the evening we have our online meeting for my book club. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna read based on that. And then tomorrow it's quite free, so hopefully tomorrow I will be able to read a ton and maybe cook some Ethiopian food. We will see about that. Hello everyone, so it's a bit later on Thursday. I finished work, and I just wanted to update you on Heretic, because I have started it. I only read like 10 pages or something, but I already have a lot of thoughts on it, so I thought I'll update you on them. So basically this is a non-fiction, and so far it's discussing the nature of Islam, and the need for reform. And she makes the point that Islam is a naturally violent religion, and she doesn't mean, she's very explicit, she doesn't mean that Muslims are violent, but if you do have that inclination, Islam does allow you to have those violent behaviors more than other religions. And I have heard that before, sort of. A few years ago, I read the Bible for the first time, and the Bible is very violent, but it's not very explicit. It's a bunch of stories, right? And there are violent themes in them, but it doesn't explicitly ask for that violence to happen. But the Korah, after that I read the Korah, and the Korah it's a lot more explicit about things. It's not a bunch of metaphors that you can interpret however you think it's right. It's more about a guided set of rules, and one of those rules is Sharia. Like, you have to be willing to go to war and live for your religion and die for your religion as well, which I found really shocking, because for me as a Spanish person, even though my family was not religious and I never grew up in religion, obviously the main religion around me was Catholics, and even though I knew there was a lot of violence within the Catholic Church, I never the higher message that they were supposed to be giving was of peace and love, right? And when I read those very explicit sentences of the Quran asking for a holy war, I was very shocked. And she's here in this book, she says that we are not allowing ourselves to talk about that inherent violence of Islam, because we see it as an attack to a culture that similar to racism. And I can see where that feeling comes from, for sure, because I do think that we are xenophobic against Muslim people, and that is not the problem. Muslim people can be as peaceful and nice as anybody else, and that's the problem when you equate things. But it is true that I think Islam does give more room for violent people to be violent. And I have also read a book last year. It was, I don't remember the name, but I will try to put it somewhere, by a Moroccan Spanish author, and she's originally from Morocco, but she grew up in Spain, and she was also telling something similar about feminism, because she said she grew up maybe 30 years ago in Spain, and at that time we didn't have as strong of a cancel culture about Islamophobia and stuff. So she was taught by her teachers and things what were the rights of herself as a woman, and gave her the power and the words to be able to fight the masculine domination and the patriarchy that Islam puts in place. I mean, society in general, but especially some Islamic communities do put in place. And she was saying that now, because we are trying to be so respectful of other cultures, we are forgetting that part of the universal rights in a way. So Muslim women nowadays, growing up in the West, are often told that whatever their culture tells them is right, and she does not think that those things are right, because they can be very oppressive to women in certain communities and justified through religion. I mean, the same happens in Christianity, but yeah, in Islam there is a perception of that being still a very, very strong cultural point. And she said that she was happy that she grew up when that was still not the place, so she was able to receive those feminist messages without people trying to soften them down, so that she was not taken aback by the clash with her culture. And I think that this is kind of making a similar point in a wider world so far. I've read 10 pages again. But yeah, like the Muslim culture is very explicit in its messages, and the messages are often similar to other religions, but because of Islam is more explicit about them, it gives more room for people to abuse those things. The way that other religions might not do as much, just because they can change with the times and say that it's a new interpretation of things, whereas Islam is harder because it's very explicit. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where this is gonna go. I'm not sure if I know enough about Islam to be able to get all of the points, but yeah, so far I'm quite excited about what this has to say about that topic, and it's something that I don't have strong ideas for or against yet, because I do think that Islamophobia is a real thing that we should avoid, but at the same time I do also think that there are certain universal things that many Islamic communities do not respect. So I don't know what she's going to be proposing to address that gap, and I'm looking forward to see what that is. But yeah, I just wanted to update you on that because I'm having so many thoughts, and I hope I can read a little bit more of that now. I have to go now, and I'm not sure if I will have time later, but hopefully I will, and I will update you if I have more thoughts. Hello everyone, it's Friday and I'm just taking a bit of a tea break from work. I just made some tea, and I thought I will update you about Heretic. I didn't read much last night. I'm like 50 pages in, but also I realized very quickly that this author is actually not Ethiopian, she's Somali. I thought she was, I had seen this author in Ethiopian books list before, but Infidel, not Heretic. And I thought she was from Somali descent, but born in Ethiopia. There are big communities of Somalis in Ethiopia and Kenya. Someone is very mad. But yeah, so I thought that she was Ethiopian, but it turns out no, she was born in Mogadishu, so she's Somalian. And she left the country. She has lived in Saudi Arabia, in Ethiopia, in Kenya, in the Netherlands, in the US. So it's still mentioned sometimes that it's there are things from Ethiopia, but mostly it is about Muslims and about her experience in Somalia and what she went through with Islam in Somalia and in the Netherlands mostly. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I still want to read this, but I'm not sure if this counts for Ethiopia because she's not Ethiopian. But I was looking for other books that I could read from Ethiopia, and to be honest, I couldn't find anything that I can easily access that I haven't read already. I have read The Shadow King, I have read Cut in Stone, Children of a New Age or something like that I have also read. So I've read quite a few Ethiopian books. I feel like one of the famous ones that I would be able to access, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I will keep you updated if I decide to pick something else apart from this. But because I have read a few Ethiopian books in my life, I don't feel the pressure too much of reading something that is going to represent the country. So yeah, I don't know, I think I will read something if I find something, and otherwise this will have to do even if the author is Somali. Yeah, I should have researched this better, but I didn't have the time this month. So yeah, that's my update. The book is good though, I'm liking it. I don't agree with everything she says, but it's very thought-provoking, so I'm excited to continue with it, and I'm happy I picked it up based on the fact that Invisible Cities made me think that it was an Ethiopian book, even if it's not. Yeah, if you have any suggestions, probably I will, like when you see this, I will have already finished, but if you have any suggestions of Ethiopian books, let me know. I can still read some next month. That's fine, right? So yeah, that's my update. It's a bit sad, but it's what it is. Hello everyone, it's a little bit later, it's around lunchtime, and I just wanted to update you because I did find a book for Ethiopia that I have access to my e-library. It's All Our Names by Dinaw Mengestu. I have read Dinaw Mengestu before and I thought it was okay. And this one in particular, it's about someone that goes from Uganda to the US, so it's still not like very Ethiopian centered, but the author is Ethiopian. So it's funny because we have a book by an Ethiopian American author that is not really that much about Ethiopia from the description, and then we have a book from a Somali author that is a little bit more about Ethiopia than the other one, so it's a funny thing. But I think I will read both of them. They are both not very long, less than 300 pages, so I think I'm going to just read both of them for Ethiopia and see how I go. Hello everyone, so it's Sunday afternoon and I came to update you because I finished Heretic by Ayaan Hirschi this morning. And yeah, I'm liking this. Yeah, I like this. I think it's very confronting. I'm not like nothing I've ever read before. She makes the point that Islam needs reform because right now it's not a peaceful religion, and the fact that because of Islamophobia we are kind of in the West taking distance from it is not necessarily a good thing, and we should always put human rights before religious liberties in a way, or not religious liberties, but we should recognize that Islam right now does not respect or Islamic communities do not respect human rights in many places in the world, and we should recognize that that is partly because of the interpretation of Islam that is most spread at the moment with, taking the Quran literally rather than trying to interpret it in other ways, like we normally do not take the Bible literally, but because Islam does take Quran literally and also Muhammad's life as literal and completely true, both of those things make it really difficult to make any reform in favor of human rights. That's kind of the gist of this, and she proposes ways that we could help that happen, that reform. That she specifically says, I'm not calling for war, I'm just calling for peaceful reformation so that Islam can truly claim that it's a peaceful religion. I did not agree with everything she said in this book, but I did see the point, and I think it's very confronting to read something like this from a Western perspective. And yeah, try to understand where she's coming from and try to realize where our biases are. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this one, even if it didn't have anything to do with Ethiopia. And I think the next one I'm going to start is the other book I had for Ethiopia, which was All Our Names by Dinaw Mengestu. And I still haven't tried to make Ethiopian food, I think because making injera intimidates me a lot. And I'm not going to do it today because tonight is the final of the Euro Cup and Italy versus England. And we are supporting Italy, so we are making pizzas tonight. And that's our contribution for the Euro Cup. So yeah, I'm not going to make it today, but probably next week I will finally try to make injera and get over my fears. So it's Monday afternoon, I just finished work. It was a pretty busy day, but yeah, I just wanted to update the blog a little bit. I didn't read much yesterday. I started All Our Names, but like 1 or 2 chapters, and then we were watching the football. And Italy won in the penalties, which was great. We were very happy about it. And yeah, that went for a while because they went to penalties. So I went to bed pretty late, and I was really tired the whole day today. But yeah, that was good. That was good. Today I'm going for dinner to a friend's house. And I don't know what time I will go back, so I'll probably not read a whole ton of the book today either, but hopefully I will be able to read a little bit more. So far it's kind of very non-descriptive, so yeah, I don't have a lot of opinions of it yet, but I will let you know. So it's Thursday afternoon. I just had lunch and I'm about to start work again, but I thought I would update you because this morning I finished All Our Names by Dinaw Mengestu, and yeah, it was okay. It follows two timelines, and the first one is when Isaac and his friend were in Makerere University in Kampala. And they were sort of studying but also trying to start a revolution because of what happened in their original countries. And then the other timeline is when Isaac, which is one of the friends, goes to the US as sort of a refugee, and his relationship with Helen, who is the woman that took care of him, sort of like the social worker that took care of him, and they develop a relationship. And there is also some kind of a mystery between these two timelines. You don't know, something happened, but you don't know what exactly happened and how the process went until the end. And yeah, for me that part was kind of predictable, and also the love story was not that relevant. I enjoyed the most the parts of the organization of the revolution in Kampala, which, I mean, it's not really that Ethiopian anyway because Kampala is Uganda, but this character is from Ethiopia. He just had to flee Ethiopia, and we get brief mentions of that. So yeah, it was okay. I thought it was not a bad book, but also it was nothing special that's going to stay in my mind forever. So yeah, I finished that. So I guess I'm finished with my Ethiopia part of the project, and I just have Panama left. And I think I'm going to make the Panamanian food this weekend. There is some kind of corn soup that I want to make that I'll probably make tomorrow, and then there is some kind of salad that I might make Saturday or Sunday because we have some barbecue that we were invited to on Sunday, so maybe it's a good thing to make for that. And yeah, that's about it. I haven't started the book for Panama yet. I think I might start it tonight or tomorrow, and I will update you when I do that. Hello everyone, so it's Saturday afternoon. I just came back from the swimming pool and had a shower, so that's why my hair is all wet. It was very nice though. And also yesterday I didn't update you, but we were just really busy. We were working on the projects that we have in the garden, the renovations and things, building stuff. So yeah, we didn't have a lot of time to do anything else, but I did manage to start The Golden Horse, and I continued reading a bit today, and so I'm about 20-25% of the way through that book, and it's quite interesting, I guess. It's set in the 1840s, 1850s in Panama, and it deals with the building of. I guess at this time they didn't know if they were going to be able to build a channel, so they were discussing to build a railroad or a channel, and that was like the options. And there's a lot of engineering and bureaucracy involved in all of that, and it goes into that, which maybe it doesn't make them the best novel writing to read about bureaucracy, but it is quite new to me how all of this happens. So I'm enjoying that part of it. There are a lot of characters, so it's difficult to follow sometimes, and there is also the fact that there is the build of the railroad at this point, but also the gold rush in California, and that's part of why they're building this. They need a passage for all of these goods to go to Europe, and going through the US is really a lot of work. So they want to just go through Panama, which is easier. So yeah, all of that, it's quite interesting because I've never learned about that before, and I knew that Panama and the Panama Canal had things to do with the US, and it was a lot of influence of the US, but I didn't know how. And this book is teaching me a lot of that. So I'm learning a lot. I'm enjoying it. It's maybe not the most captivating novel ever, but I'm enjoying learning about Panama and the Panama Canal and the Panama Railroad and how all of this happened. So yeah, that's that so far. We also were supposed to go for dinner to some friends today, but that got cancelled. So I think I'm going to make the Panama salad that I was planning to do now for lunch, and sit in the sun and eat it, because we don't have a lot of sun in this country, but today it is a really nice day. So I think I'm going to do that and read a bit more of my book, and maybe I'll update you later, or I'll update you tomorrow. We will see. It's Tuesday evening, and I haven't updated you in a couple of days. We were with some friends on Sunday for a barbecue, and then yesterday was really busy, so I didn't have time. And yeah, today I have been dealing with some stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not concentrating a lot on reading right now. I am 75% into the Golden Horse, and I'm liking it good enough so far. The story, like the character story, is not that interesting for me. It's there is this love story, some triangle, that kind of thing, but the history of the country and the railway that they're building is quite interesting. And yeah, as I said, I have about 25% to go. I don't know if I will finish it today, tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not in the mood for reading right now, so we'll see. It's really sunny right now, so I might sit in the garden and try to read as much as I can, but I don't know how much that will be. I guess I'll keep you updated. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. I would recommend if you're looking for something from Panama. Hello everyone, so it's Thursday morning. I'm just about to start work, but I wanted to update you because last night I finished The Golden Horse by Juan David Morgan, and I think everything I said stands. The history and the context of the book were very interesting. The building of the railway in Panama to go from one side to the other so that people from the US could go from east to west coast without having to cross the whole country. That was all very interesting. The story is kind of a love triangle going on, very respectful, very tragic. Yeah, that one was not my taste, but it was, there was nothing wrong with it either, I think. So yeah, overall I enjoyed my Panama read. I overall enjoyed the Invisible Cities project, and the food especially. And I hope you also enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!